It's called Amazon Voyage, Vicious Fishes and Other Riches, and it's a great exhibit going down at the Frost Museum of Science. And here's Gillian Thomas, the CEO of the museum. Gillian, it is so good to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm very well. Great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, the exhibit has a great name, if nothing else. Amazon Voyage, Vicious Fishes and Other Riches.
That's correct. We want to take people on a real trip down the Amazon to meet and encounter all the different things that live there, as well as the people, and have a really wonderful time discovering the science behind some of it.
All right, so what are some of the great, cool things that you'll see on your voyage down the Amazon?
Well, for a start, there's 7 perils that you have to encounter, and so these are different animals and fishes, so they range from the anaconda. There's a really big anaconda. That one's not actually live, but it's the weight and size of a real anaconda, so you can try picking it up just to see how really, really heavy a big anaconda is. They're piranhas, of course. That's exciting. Luckily, the ones we have are dead.
Right, good.
So this is a bit of reassurance, right? But you can see some video about them, and this is a skeleton of one of the piranhas. That's about the biggest that they get nowadays. You also learn about ones that lived there once before. And if you look at those teeth compared to these, you can see how big the ancient ones must have been.
Sure.
So that's an exciting one to learn about.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, there's catfish. So there's all sorts of stories on the Amazon. First of all, I brought the boat. So we have Mo's boat, and you go on a journey on the boat to start off with. And Mo tells you some of the stories that there are about the animals that live on the Amazon. So one of them is the giant catfish, which supposedly is so big that it could swallow a human alive.
What?
Right.
Really?
So we don't have one quite that size, but we do have a very big catfish, and you can, it's a dead one luckily, so you can put your hand inside and you can find out what has it actually been eating. So you have to come, I'm not going to tell you, but you'll find out some of the things that catfish might eat.
And this sounds to me like it's good for kids, it's good for adults, good for dates, right?
It's good for absolutely everything, that's correct. And there's some really great sciencey stories too, so for any child that thinks they might like to be a scientist one day, to see some of the scientists there's a guy called Paolo Petri, and he spends his life trying to find fish that live in the leaf litter. So there he is, knee deep in the Amazon, stomping around looking for tiny, tiny fish, and you think, shucks, and he gets paid to do that as a scientist.
It's got to be really rewarding for you as well to see kids come here and enjoy learning. That's got to be
That is.
neat.
It's really, really interesting because there's a lot of good science to it, but there's a lot of good fun as well. And you can join in the festival at the Varselos village, where we have a whole dance floor that lights up when you jump up and down on it. If you're small, you can put on a catfish costume if you want to. If you're older, you can just enjoy a really great date here because it's a lovely environment for them as well, and some serious science too.
How big is that anaconda, that fake one that people can wrestle?
It's about 8 feet long.
Yeah.
It's a really, really big one. And it really is heavy. It's quite surprising because they spend most of their time in the water, and you understand why when you try and pick it up on land.
So it's good if you bring a date, you could show off,
you
how
could show
strong
your muscles.
you are.
That's
yeah,
right. That's
exactly.
You can try and find an electric eel that's hidden, or you can find the fish that's living in the leaf litter. So there's a lot of really nice, interesting, interactive hands-on.
Yeah.
And there's also some interesting features around the changes of the season in the Amazon, because there are things like fish that eat the fruit from the trees during the flooded water season. So you learn about the water going up and down, all the really different changes that there are. So it's a lovely way to discover the Amazon and give you a wish to go there. And at night time, you can try and pick out the different animals by their eyes shining in your flashlight.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's very exciting.
It's all the mystery and intrigue minus the extreme death and danger of actually going.
That's true.
and this actual Amazon voyage has had its own voyage, right, over the past decade.
It's been seen by about 2 million people. It started off briefly at the Science Museum in Miami, and then it went up to the Smithsonian, and from there it traveled around the US, up to Canada, and across to the UK. So it's been seen and enjoyed by a very large number of people, so we wanted it back home for a year.
How does it work? How did you guys end up getting it here? How does that happen?
We created the exhibit, so we have a long history of natural history at the Science Museum, and we were lucky enough to win an award from the National Science Foundation, which funded the research and development and the whole construction of the exhibit.
So this is your baby?
It's our baby, absolutely, yes, that's right. So yes, we developed it internally, so Sean Duran, who's the head of exhibits, led the team, and we worked with a lot of people and a lot of scientists to really get this great exhibit together.
You've already covered so much about it. Give me some of your own personal favorites when you look at it.
I really like the nighttime on the Amazon, actually, because I've been on the Amazon, and it's a totally mysterious environment because the Amazon's a very big, broad river, and you're surrounded by all these animals, and at nighttime you can hear them, But to start off with, you can't see anything. But then if you put a flashlight around, all the eyes start to glow in the dark. And so we have one which gives you that sensation, and then the animals, they move and come out.
It actually sounds like the most terrifying thing on Earth, to actually be at the Amazon.
It's wonderful. No, it's a beautiful, beautiful place, and it's something we should all cherish and look after, because it's like the lungs of the planet, right?
You say wonderful, and I think, you know, giant anaconda, catfish that can eat people, piranha with huge teeth. Wonderful if you're Stephen King.
No, I think it's great for everybody. It's great for bird watchers too, actually. We don't do birds so much in this exhibit. There's a lot of birds on the Amazon too, but we really wanted to focus on the stories of the animals, to know they're not all actually as dangerous. You can swim in the Amazon, although there are piranhas, in fact, because they only occasionally, at certain times of the year, they like to eat anybody. But mostly they don't. So lots of kids.
Mostly they don't.
Mostly kids swim in the water.
Chances are you'll be fine. Don't have any open cuts. You'll be great.
That's right. It's all fine. But it's really interesting to learn about it, and especially to learn about the studies that scientists are doing to really understand more about the animals and how the whole system works there in the Amazon.
It sounds so cool. It really does.
It's a lovely
really
exhibit.
Fun and interesting. Give people all the information they need if they want to go check it out. Where, when, how?
It's at the Patricia and Philip Frost Museum of Science, which is just off US 1. If you drive down I-95, just before you get to changing to US 1, that's where you turn off. And it's every day. We're open every day except Christmas and Thanksgiving. And you look at the prices on the stage, you'll see it there.
Yeah. And additionally, for holiday season, do you have any other things going on?
We have a lot of different activities. We have a broad program of different activities that you can do. We also have a planetarium, of course, and we have a wildlife center, and our explainers do a fabulous range of activities that go with this. And we also have a winter camp, so you can sign on and come for the whole day if you want to. We have a lot of different activities happening.
And I mentioned it before. I think we should mention it again. It's really for all ages.
It is for absolutely everybody. If you're a serious scientist, you'll find some really good stuff there. If you're a very small kid, you'll find something you'll enjoy, and anybody in between will enjoy it too.
Give us the website.
It's www.miamisci.org. miamisci.org.
Yeah, very easy. Gillian, so great to meet you. It sounds like
Very
such
nice.
a cool exhibit.
It's the best.
And
You have to come.
I've always wanted to see if I could handle an anaconda. So.
Well, there you go. We look forward to filming you on the site.
Great to meet you, and happy holidays.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
Thank you.